Welcome back, everyone, to Turn to Page, our book podcast. The ones that we used to do with Kyle and Peter, but they're busy. Oh well. But it's us.
Oh well,
I mean, it sucks, yeah, but um,
it's okay.
yeah,
They'll be back one day.
someday. But yeah, again, it's only two of us, and but that gives us a chance to talk about many more books that we haven't gone into, or just stuff that catches our interest. For this episode, we are going to talk about We Have Always Lived in the Castle.
By
And
Shirley Jackson.
that's, yeah, I forgot the other. She's written, what was it? Haunting of Hill House and a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of others. I can't remember. This is the only one that stands out to me, only because it was adapted on Netflix, and it's a fantastic show. Nothing to do with the books, but still, fantastic show. um, but yeah, that is going to be our main topic. But before that, we're going to talk about some books that we read while we were gone. I'll let you start.
Okay. It was a pretty slow time for me. I usually read like maybe 4 books a month. I only read 2.
Hmm.
The book that I read is called Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks. Um, it's a romance book. It's not spooky. The only reason why I chose it is because it has mm, like a darker vibe, and we're in the Halloween
Hmm.
season. So it's basically these two characters. We have the guy and the girl. The girl's name is Lark. The guy's name is Callum. He's Irish. I can't. That's how I like read it in my head, but
Hmm.
I'm sure it's probably wrong. Um, but she's an animator from Texas who gets a job in Ireland, so she moves, and she moves next door to the guy. Um, but she doesn't really realize what she moved next to, which is a morgue.
Hmm.
And he's the owner. He lives there, like his house is like on top of everything, and he's like the one that like gets them ready for like the funeral and stuff. Um so yeah, that's kind of the darker vibes, whatever. But it took me like all month to get into it. Like
Hmm.
I started it maybe like literally October 1st, and this past Sunday, which was what, the 22nd, I think. I was like 95 pages in. So it really did take me like a while to get into it.
Hmm.
But once I did, it was really cute. She she I don't really know like how to say it without giving it away, but um there's like a reason why she doesn't want to be with anybody. She doesn't want a relationship. And then he, on the other hand, has to get married by basically the end of the year, kind of, which is like around the time that she's supposed to leave because the job is temporary.
Hmm.
Um, because when his grandfather died, he kind of left it in his will that like if he doesn't get married by a certain time, by the time he reaches 35, um he loses the business basically.
Hmm.
And the guy is like super shy. He like keeps to himself. He has a what's it called, like a stutter.
Hmm.
uh so like that, he would always get made fun of and stuff, so he would just kind of keep to himself. And then the type of job that he has, people are just like weirded out by him. um but then she meets like Lark, and she's the complete opposite. She's so open and like honest and outgoing and stuff like that. So they end up like falling in love. But it was cute, and then, like, the way that they, like, show their relationship, like, the progression of their relationship and stuff, like, it was so, like, genuine, and, um, by the time they do get together and they kinda figure their stuff out, um, it was really cool. But yeah, and then I read the book that we're gonna talk about. That's
Yeah.
it.
Nice. Yeah. So yeah, obviously read Always Lived in the Castle. I also read Percy Jackson, Chalice of the Gods. This one, yeah, I think I mentioned it was coming out and all that. And this is basically just, this is really just a fun story. Honestly, there's no world-ending stakes. I mentioned this in the Ahsoka on our Ahsoka reactions. Look it up. I talked about it in the final episode. We hated that show. It was boring and nothing happened. And I use this book as an example though of like we're not asking for, as for fans, we're not asking for a lot when we want to see a character that we love, you know? This book, like I said, there's no world-ending stakes. Percy is just trying to get to college. He's trying to get recommendation letters, and he wants to graduate in time so he can go to college with his girlfriend. Like, those are the stakes. And mind you, if you read Trials of Apollo, you know what happens. And so, like, even then, this isn't like a stressful book to read or anything. You know what's gonna happen. You know he's gonna be fine whenever he's in danger. But it's so great getting into his mind again, and just him kind of bringing up the stuff that's happened to him in his past, being like, I've done this 100 times, but I'm still scared that I'm gonna die. And I know if like I learned a lot basically through those messiness of life that he's been through. But yeah, no, like I said, but it's so great seeing the three of them together and actually like seeing them. They're still like, I don't know, 17 still, but like they're freaking adults. Like they know what they want in life. They know what they want to do in their future and everything. And it's just really interesting hearing those thoughts. And one thing I'll kind of spoil, in the beginning of the book, the whole time I was like, is Percy's mom pregnant? Because she was pregnant in the Trials of Apollo. This takes place before that. And so, or like, it would have taken you before or around that time, and nobody was sure at the time. But she never once mentioned like whether she was pregnant or not, or she had the baby already. I'm kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? But in the book, she does announce that she's pregnant. And it's a
Oh,
great moment too, because he's just like, what? Are you serious? And like he's genuinely happy because there's going to be a normal child in the house. He literally kind of blames himself for giving his mom a tough life, because I mean, if you remember in the
yeah.
first book, she literally had to be with abusive guy because his stench covered his
Yeah.
stench against the
Ugh,
monsters, and it's like, god damn.
I love the mom.
Yeah,
I
everyone
literally
loves the
have
mom.
only read the first book, but I love the mom.
She's great for sure, and she's great in this too. It's fantastic. I can't wait for you to like see Paul Blowfist. That's that's what you should meet. Oh my but yeah, actually, and like I said, this is sort of like a, yeah, you gotta see my phone probably, but oh well. Where is it? Here it is. I have it up there, but this is someone was interviewing Rick Riordan, and they asked him, we've also described this as a slice of life story, which is a bit different from some of the other books. Did that offer any particular challenges for you? One of the one of the interesting things I learned working with Marco Shiro on The Son of the Star, which I mentioned that last episode, great book,
Mm,
which was the first time I'd ever collaborated on a novel, was that Mark is really good with character development, and there's a sense of emotional intelligence that I don't always bring to my work. I'm usually more plot driven, keep the pages turning, but Mark is really good about letting the scenes breathe and giving room for the characters to process what's going on and talk about it. That's really valuable. So I tried to take that lesson working with Mark and apply it a little bit to Percy, and I found it was really really wonderful to put in a few more moments of daily life, hanging out in the park, having dinner with your family, setting the table. I like that, and I'm gratified that so far anyway the readers have told me they really like it too, which is great. There really is a lot of moments like that of just him
mhm.
having dinner with his family, having lunch with his friends. um and that's basically what this book is. Like they mentioned, it's a slice of life really, but with monsters and danger still going on. And it's just, if for Percy Jackson fans, this is like
Oh my god, the screen change scared me.
sorry. But yeah, for Percy Jackson fans, like this is just probably one of the best books because you're just with this character.
Mhm.
But yeah,
How do you know how long it's been since he came out in the book?
Percy.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And then what was the last book that was like based on him?
based on him, well, I guess it would be the Heroes of Olympus books. He did come out in Trials of Apollo, but it was just cameos,
Mhm.
basically. But
Cameo.
yeah. But yeah, cameos done the right way. I'll say that. Okay, he comes out in the beginning of the first book and at the end of the first book, and he comes out in the badass way. It's so much fun. um, but yeah, I would say the last one was in the Heroes of Olympus, the Blood of Olympus, basically. But that one's just more. It's him and a whole bunch of other characters, but he was mainly one of the main characters. Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. It was House of Hades, actually, because that was the last time we get his perspective.
What's the
Oh,
name?
House House of Hades.
That's a book?
Yeah, the Heroes of Olympus, House of Hades. I
Oh.
feel like I'm getting the title wrong, but the subtitle wrong. But yeah, that was the last time we got his perspective. In the next book, he's there, but we never see his perspective again after that.
So it's
And
been a hot minute.
yeah,
Oh
uh, and Rick Riordan already announced the next book, Percy Jackson,
wow.
Wrath of the Triple Goddess, which I think they said it was Hecate. That might be like that's who they're referencing
Mhm.
because Triple Goddess, she believes she's sort of the goddess of the crossroads. Let me see, Hecate Goddess. Come on. Nah, it's too. Which is get revenge, painful magic, goddess. Yeah, right here. A goddess of crossroads, magic, poison, and the undead. Hecate was also the daughter of a titan, Perseus, and the nymph Asteria, according to Perseus.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, goddess of the crossroads. Basically, she believes that there are three paths to life, whereas there was another god who believes there's two paths you can take in life, but she believes in the third, and she does come up in House of Hades, where she gives Hazel a chance. You can go through this road where these people died, this road where these people die, or this road where everyone dies. Oh no,
Oh my god.
no wait, this road where everyone lives, which is basically no, everyone dies. Yeah, I remember now. Because the road where like Percy and Annabeth die is because she decides to leave like the quest and all that. But she and then not Hecate, Hazel was like, I'll find a fourth road, and she's just like, that'd be something. Okay. But yeah.
Interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
then has there been any more updates on the show? I know I sent you the trailer came out since we last talked,
Yeah,
right?
trailer came out, a bunch of pictures of the characters. We see, oh, what's his name? The God of Wine.
Lin Manuel.
Lin Manuel as Lin Manuel. I
That
love
was
that.
literally it was so funny because I thought the same thing, but I think it's so funny when other people think the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. Because I was thinking that too. I'm like, did they just get a picture of him somewhere? And
Like somebody wrote, I like how all the gods look like majestic, and then he just looks like Lin Manuel.
I know it's so
But I'm so
weird.
excited. I'm so excited that he's in it.
I'm very curious though where he's at in that picture. At least I kind of have a guess, but oh, we'll see.
And
Um,
then I feel um like I could see him being this character too.
mhm.
'Cause yeah.
I can see him in the fun parts of it because
Uh-huh.
when the gods are like fun, they're really fun. But when they get serious though, that's the hard part. I have trouble picturing of Lin only
Okay.
because he's always just a fun guy though. So I'm very curious if he's gonna like switch. My only worry though is the guy playing Dionysus.
Yeah.
He's always played a like a crazy character. I did see him play like a pretty serious character in Paper Girls. That was on Amazon.
Mhm.
And that one he was very much calmed down. So I can see that he can do that, but I'm just curious, like what he's going to bring exactly. Like, he's going to go a little bit crazy, or is he going to be just kind of, what's the word? I don't want to say calm, but like
Not as crazy.
not as crazy, I guess. Yeah, sure. But yeah, his is very curious. Everyone else though, I saw clips of the leaked trailer that they showed in Comic Con, New York Comic Con, and
Mhm.
they looked interesting.
Oh my god. I'm excited. It's almost here. I
I
feel
know,
like it went by so fast
for
since
sure.
they like announced it to now.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll see how that strikes go though.
Oh,
Yeah, we can definitely still do like reactions of the episodes. But I probably won't post them if the strikes are still going. I probably won't post them till after.
yeah. Interesting.
Hmm.
All right.
But yeah, that's what I've been reading. I tried reading this one that I mentioned last time, by Patrick Rothfuss. Can't remember the whole title. It was like A Slow Regard
Mhm.
of Silent Things, I think that's what it's called. I mainly wanted to read that, and this can help us transition into our main book. I mainly want to read that one because I know he was going to have like weird dialogue in that, because the main character is just, she's literally gone insane. Like,
Mhm.
she lives like in the sewers of a city, and just never wants to like talk to people. The main character in his main books, King Killer Chronicles, he does talk to her and all that, but they just say weird stuff like, "I found this thing made of diamonds and honey," or something like that. And it's just kind of like they just have this weird relationship where they kind of just like each other because they don't know anything about each other. And if the main character even said, if I bring up anything personal, she runs away, and and so he tries to just avoid that. He just kind of stays in her presence. But yeah, and so yeah, that's why I mentioned it has weird dialogue, which can take us to We've Always Lived in the Castle. Oh my gosh, these titles are too long. I can't remember them. I'm already bad. I'm already bad with names, and so this is just making it worse. Um, but yeah, so that book was a tough read for me because of the dialogue. It was just very much weird. I would almost say like Alice in Wonderland esque type of dialogue, but I feel like that's not a good comparison much. Um,
No, I feel like Alice in Wonderland is such a hard read.
mhm. There
Just
was
because it's literally all over the
It's
place.
all over the place. It's even hard listening to the audiobook. I haven't even finished it because it was weird, but I'll probably get
It
to it.
was
Hmm. But yeah. But other than that, though, once you
weird.
really like push through it, though, I loved the ending. It was mainly the ending that really got me to love it, because some it's hard to explain it without spoiling it. But
We'll just give you like your thoughts first, and
yeah.
then I'll give my thoughts.
Mhm. Yeah, basically, this is definitely worth the read for the ending. There's something that leads up to it. You don't expect it, and not in like a surprise kind of way, like twist or anything like that. It just kind of like, it lets you, once you hear that, like those final words, or like read the final words, you kind of have to like let everything sink in, and you kind of go, "Oh, is this what you're going for? Like, is this what you went with?" And like you really think back on it, like it makes you think back on the whole entire story. You're kind of like, "Oh, I kind of screwed up here." Just and I'll explain it like once I get into spoilers and all. But
Mhm.
it's just a very interesting read in terms of like, I think basically what this whole thing is trying to tell you is about um myths, basically, and rumors. Like, that's kind
Mhm.
of the whole point of the book.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a mystery and like,
there's a
you know.
mystery, but
Yeah,
not
I
really
wouldn't
much.
say it's suspenseful, but
No.
it's like it makes you just kind of like, wait, like what's going on though? Like
Mm-hmm.
what, you know? Um I am like the opposite of you. I really like the writing. I thought it was super interesting. I
Mm-hmm.
loved that we get into them, like this person's mind, or
Mm-hmm.
like the character that we like, are listening to. Um and and just like how she sees the world is so like, and also because we like would talk about it when I was reading it and stuff, but like I like that she seems really innocent. Like when was listening to it, it felt like a little kid, but
Mm-hmm.
she's not. She's what, 18, 19?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's older, but like just like the way that she thinks, and when I kind of figured that out, I was like, oh, like she's kind of messed up.
Yeah, messed up, but also smarter than what she seems.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Like,
I don't know. I just found it so interesting, and I definitely had that feeling the whole time of like, what's going on? Because I finished it in like what, like a day?
well, you were listening to the
But
audiobook.
still, like a lot of the times, especially with audiobooks are kind of hard for me because I have
Mm-hmm.
to like keep going back.
Mm.
But this one I was like paying attention to it the whole time.
Mm, okay.
Um, so yeah, I thought that the writing was really good. I thought that the story was good. I want to hear your thoughts about the ending, just because I like it, when it finished, I was like, wait, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to hear your thoughts first. Um, and then maybe it'll kind of blend into my thoughts.
Maybe. Okay.
Not, I wasn't like disappointed, but
Mm-hmm.
it was just kind of like, wait, but I want more.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like not always a bad thing. I don't mean it like in a bad way. Um, but yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, simplest terms, we liked it. Worth a read. Um, like I said, the whole to me the story is about myths and rumors,
Hmm.
and how that can affect people and how easily they can start.
Yeah,
And don't be the one on the end that's making them. So
yeah,
like that's really kind of the whole point of it.
and like that's super interesting. Um, because I wouldn't. Okay, can we talk about like
Yeah,
spoilers
yeah,
now?
we
Okay,
can get spoilers.
okay, because it's kind of hard.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, what's it called? Speaking of like the other villagers, whatever. Um, it's so interesting that like they're kind of like the bad guys in the story
Mm-hmm.
when we have this situation that's going on.
Yeah.
And again, like being inside this person's mind, which is like she treats her mind as like a sort of way to escape from everything, but at the same time, the thoughts that she has, she did act on them at one point, which
Mm-hmm.
were not good things. Um, so it's like interesting to see that she's not completely good,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
But like still like the villagers are still the bad people. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yeah. So basically, in the beginning, we get this news basically that obviously something happened to her family, and what happened was pretty much all of them were murdered. They had
They
some
all
family
did.
dinner. They had some family dinner, and everyone just sort of died. You don't know at first, but that's sort of the rumor, or that's basically that is what
It's
happened.
not the yeah,
That
it
is
is
what
what
happened.
happened, but
But the
the
rumor
rumors
was
are what happened to
it's
lead to that.
yeah, what happened to lead to that, but also who did it and all.
Uh-huh.
And so for me, from the beginning, I was like, oh, clearly it was the one that we're following here. What was his name?
Constance and Mary Cat.
Mary Cat was the main one, the one that we're
Yeah, that's the one. Uh-huh.
okay.
The narrator.
Mary Cat. To me, it was always like, okay, yeah, she did it, obviously, right?
Yeah, because it like in the beginning they try to tell you that it's Constance
Mm-hmm.
because she's the one that gets accused. She goes to jail for a little bit. Um, but she got um what's it called? Not let go. Let go? Yeah, let go.
Um, I don't know. I can't remember what they said. I don't know. Maybe she got some kind of parole or
No, like she like
acquitted.
they realized that it wasn't her.
Yeah.
Um, and they couldn't really figure out how it
Hmm.
happened, so they couldn't really accuse her also.
Yeah,
Um, the only reason why they accused her was because,
she kind of
um,
confessed.
she made the food that night.
She made the food, but also though when they were kind of taking away the bodies, she was the one that she was like
Yeah, that's true.
saying things like it was me, it was my fault, blah blah blah, and all
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
But you're kind of like, okay, wait, then why
But
would
she
she
wasn't saying it as,
confess?
like, a confession. She,
Mm-hmm.
like, blamed herself because obviously, like,
Mm-hmm.
we don't really know what happened.
That's the tough part. Is like, was she saying it because she was just kind of in shock, or
Mhm.
like did she actually do something? Like you don't know. Again, to me, the whole time I knew Mary Cat was the one. Um, and then at one point, someone visits the house. So they mentioned Mary Cat is the only one that goes out. Constance is too afraid to go out because everyone would just like on her. You know, did you do it?
Mhm.
Basically, and then the uncle is he just can't get out of the house. Really, he's in a wheelchair. Uh, so yeah,
Yeah. I think, am I mistaken in thinking that he also, like, the reason why he's like this is because he was affected by the poison?
possibly. I think they said he's also ill
That, and then
too.
I feel like he had, like, Alzheimer's or something?
Yeah, probably Alzheimer's for sure.
Okay.
I think he's just pretty old.
Because at one point he mentions, like, it kind of, like, obviously not in these words, but, like, "It didn't get me, but, like, it could have,"
Hmm.
type of thing. So that's why I think that he got affected by it. But yeah, like, the family basically does not leave the house. They have, like, specific days where Mary Cat leaves. She's the only one that leaves to go get food, their necessities, whatever.
Hmm.
But Constance literally, like, hides if anybody goes near the house.
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
America even is like, hide, go, go, go. He basically
Uh-huh,
tells her like, there's
yeah.
someone at the here, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, very protective of her. But but at some point, some people do visit, and these are people that Constance does trust, and they kind of have like a try to have a conversation. But the uncle comes in and he starts explaining everything that happened that day, and he was just like, everything seemed fine. Everyone was getting along. We were having dinner, and then he starts guessing um how they all got poisoned, and he mentions one poison um that was from a mushroom, and to me that was the
Mhm.
evidence right there that it was Maricat, because she in the beginning of the book she says my favorite mushrooms are this and this, which is a poison, which is the same one that the uncle mentions, and I was
Mhm.
like, okay, she probably just put it in the
Yeah.
food
And
somehow.
she has a lot of little quirks.
Yeah, there's a lot of
She loves digging stuff. She likes,
nail things to a tree.
yeah.
Yeah, but
She's
like
she's
so.
very, like, I don't know, she's just such a, like, an interesting character.
Hmm.
Like how she says, "Thursdays are my strong days," or something like that. I don't know.
Basically, I mean, so when this murder happened, she would have been around 12, 11 years old, because I think it said it had been 6 years since
Mhm.
that day. So she would have been 11 or 12, and she very much stayed a child during those six
Yeah.
years, basically. And a lot of it later on, Constance says that she blames herself for that. She says like I kind of I let your imagination run wild, and I just let this
Uh-huh.
happen, and so she just stayed into a child, and she just has a wild imagination. Really,
Really wild.
that's really all it is. But like I said, she seems smarter than she looks, only because she knew right away when the other uncle came by that something was off about him. And then but also though I say smart because they taught her a bunch of things outside the house. They're like, hey, stay away from this, these are fine. And she kept that in her memory. She knows which ones are poisonous, which ones are good, what she
Mhm.
has to do when she
I
interacts
I
these things.
I wanna say, because I mean, it could, like, the way that she is at, like, when we're reading the book could very much be, like, just trauma of, like, everything that happened.
Hmm.
Um, it could, but it could also be, like, other things. I wouldn't know what, but,
Hmm.
could be that she may be, like, on the spectrum or something, just because she gets really, like, hyper fixated on things.
True.
Um, and just like, you know, like she needs everything to be like the way that it is,
Mm-hmm.
or else she starts like freaking out. Like at one point, or like in the beginning of the book, she Constance is like, "Oh, maybe we should like go out or something, like leave the house basically."
Mm-hmm.
Um they don't do it, but Mary Cat like freaks out and she's like, "Okay, let's talk about something else. Like I don't want to talk about this
Yeah.
anymore." So you know, it could be like a mixture of things. Those two things. It could just be the trauma. It could just be like, you know, so much change happened in such like a span of like 5 minutes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just interesting to like think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Cause then, like I know it's so like dark, but I think like my favorite moments are just because I find it like interesting. When she's like out in town, or whenever one of like um the people in town like go, at one point like something big happens and they all go to the house and like start harassing them. Um but she starts saying these little like things in her mind to kind of like calm her down, where she says, "I'm on the moon. We're in the moon. We live in the moon." Um and it's kind of like a little chant that she
Mm-hmm.
like tells herself. But then once she's on the moon, she starts saying like, "I wish they were all dead. I picture them all dead. I wish he would just die." Like it's so crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, so the beginning of the book is just basically kind of getting a sense of into their lives and all that. They're kind of in constant fear and just stay away from everyone. Some people do try to help. There was two ladies
The
that tried to help, but
Clarks, I think that's their last names.
mm-hmm, but doesn't work out much. And
Yeah,
then
she was. Yeah, because like everybody in town, even if they try to like be nice or just like let them be, they still partake in the harassment and,
well,
you know.
in the beginning, there was that one guy who was just basically like, "Did you murder them or something?" I can't remember what he said exactly,
Uh-huh.
but he was basically like, "You crazy girl, probably
Yeah,
murdered them,
yeah,
huh?" And then there's that one lady though. She was just like, "Hey, like seriously, knock it off, like or get out."
yeah.
And then as soon as Mary Cat leaves though, she goes, "That was
Starts
fucking."
laughing.
It starts fucking. Yeah, it's just like that's fucking hilarious. So
Yeah,
yeah,
uh-huh.
it's like, ah, come on, you were just fine, but
Yeah.
now you just had to make things worse. Um, but yeah, and so I don't remember. And then I don't know if it was the doctor that came by first, and then the uncle.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that doctor scene was so
it
strange.
was. It seemed like he just wanted to like
He
go in and
literally,
out, and then that's it.
yeah.
Which is weird because it's like, I'll
Like you
bring.
you you know them. Like
Yeah,
you,
you know them. You probably took care of the rest of the family. Like, why you just want to like leave, like go in and go out, and that's
yeah.
it, and you don't say anything. And it's so weird because later on, we'll get to it, but like something happens in the family, and he comes by and he's just like, "Hey, girls, let me just see if you're okay." And it's like, why you just
Yeah.
now like this?
Yeah.
You could have been so
You could have been a
nice to
big
them from the
help.
beginning.
Yeah.
You could have brought stuff to them or something like that. Like
Yeah.
why now? And that's a big thing in the book, towards the end. But yeah, that was one short character moment. But then yeah, the uncle comes by. This is someone.
Another uncle.
Yeah,
Because
this
I
is
guess it was three
no,
brothers.
they were cousins, weren't they?
Oh yeah, cousins.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
yeah.
kidding.
Because the uncle, his dad, um, I don't know if he was ever there at the
Yes.
reunion, or
Uh-huh.
not. But like when he heard what happened, he was like, "We're cutting off. We're never going to talk to these people again. I
Yeah.
don't, I don't care if they did it or not."
Literally all their family died.
Yeah. So he just kind of like, "We're not going there, and you're not meeting them at all." But as soon as he turned 18, he started looking for them, and he wanted to visit. Um, and at first, you're just kind of like, okay, nice guy. Probably is worried about his cousins, whatever. But then you slowly start seeing things, and this is another part of like rumors and myths that you kind of shouldn't get into because him, it's very clear that he only wanted their money, but like,
Mhm.
would he have? done things to them to keep the money? Would he have actually
Yeah.
gotten rid of Maricat in order to keep the money? You know, because so with him is that at one point he notices this like golden watch nailed to a tree, and it was because Maricat put it there for protection of the family and all
Hmm.
that, and he's just kind of like, why the fuck would you do this? It's like this
Yeah.
thing's already like $100 or something. I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't remember. I don't know the
And
time.
it's so like I like that you pointed that out that you know because the book gets you like it gets you like
Thinking.
yeah it gets you making theories and you know obviously we're not going to think the worst of them but you know it gets us acting like the villagers like the bad guys
Mm-hmm.
you know we even though Mary Cat is the one that did it you know we thought oh she did it you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean
Yeah.
and then with the uncle
Well, actually, we'll get to Bearcat. Sorry, keep going.
um with the uncle you know you get like weird vibes but like you also have to like understand this big thing happened again their whole family died obviously he's gonna cut off like
Mm-hmm.
you know
Yeah.
and obviously he's gonna act towards
Defensive,
them yeah you know
defensive and everything.
like it's
Yeah,
yeah
and
it's just so
they
interesting
also mentioned though that he doesn't have any money either, so he kind of
hmm
wants to save up as much as he can, kind of. But also, I'm pretty sure he was keeping in mind that he's gonna take care of them from now on,
hmm
and his presence was actually doing well for Constance too. Like she, part of her, like
she
she
was
was
coming out a little
she
bit
coming out a little bit, becoming more of an adult, and that's when she tells Meerkat, like, I kind of let this childish thing go on for too long with you. I
hmm
should have done more to take care of you. I'm their sisters, right? Yeah. I'm the older sister and all, but it just kind of, again, it kind of went through shit. But and then also, and even though it was bad of him to just so worry so much about the money, like he could have had it, like it
hmm
was right there. They trusted him. They were gonna give it to him. They probably would have if he just asked, like,
hmm
"Hey, like I got some ideas of how we can make more or something like that." They probably
hmm
would have done it.
yeah
Um, but the thing that kind of set him off at some point is because Maricat buried a box of silver in the backyard, and he's just like, "This is
what do you mean
what is this is so much. What is this? Like, are you kidding me? Like, we gotta have a talk to her." And like, I'm thinking like, oh, he's gonna like send her away or something, or like I don't know what, tell her to move out or something like that. But I mean, I'm pretty sure in time, I feel like maybe even Constance would have been like, we'll just talk to her. We'll like set things straight and
yeah
tell her like stop this childish thing, you know? Because here's the biggest thing. So we do find out Maricat, it was Maricat's fault. Everyone died, but it was an accident.
it was a complete accident
Yeah, because she likes burying things around the house. At some point, she buried arsenic, was it? Or
um I mean, it was a poison.
it
I
was
don't
some
know
kind of
which one.
poison
Yeah,
into the sugar
the sugar bowl.
sugar bowl. Yeah, and it's because Constance never uses sugar on her recipes or anything like that. She doesn't. She kind of uses just mainly fruits for the
Uh-huh.
sugar and all that. And the one time she did, she served it to everyone, and everyone died. It was a complete accident, and I don't know if Mary Cat is capable of murder. I mean, everyone has. I mean, I wouldn't say everyone has thoughts of like murdering someone or something like that, but like
Uh, or
for
just
her,
negative thoughts
negative.
towards other
Everyone,
people.
yeah, people have negative thoughts towards other people, and for her, it's for good reason. They've been harassing her and her family for a while, and so
It's not for good reason, but
it's
it's
not for good reason, but
understandable.
it's understandable. Yeah, exactly.
Stop talking like a murderer.
I'm just saying, like yeah, like you said, it was understandable why she had those thoughts, but like I don't think she's capable of murder herself,
Yeah.
and so I don't even think how was the fire set off though. Actually, that's the one thing I was actually confused on. So
His pipe,
his pipe, oh, okay,
smoking pipe, went off
oh okay,
somehow. Hmm.
yeah, okay. So yeah, during that
And
time,
even in the, okay, so yeah, you're kind of going all over the place.
I'm sorry,
We're going all over the place. But yes, we
it's a
find
very
out that
short
it
book though.
yeah, it is. We find out it's Mary Cat. But and even in the book, they say because at one point, Constance brings it up, and not like to accuse her or anything. She just like brought it up, um, and they had never talked about it before, like not even back then when it
Mm-hmm.
happened. Like it was just something that like they both knew what happened, but they just never talked about it, um and they both knew that it was an accident. Like they're fully aware that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and once they, because she mentions it, but Mary Cat just kind of stays quiet, and then later on, Constance brought it up again. Um, and that's when Mary Cat says, "We've never talked about it. Why are you bringing it up now?"
Mm-hmm.
But not like in a bad way, just kind of like, okay, like, are we gonna like talk about it now?
Yeah.
um, but I mean, it was just kind of, they both say like, or they both are aware, or they both tell each other that, we know that it was an accident. And she says, that's when we find out you never used the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I know. So like, I like Constance that she doesn't accuse her. She doesn't hold it against her. She doesn't, because she knows, like, it's a
she,
big
again,
tragedy.
she was literally a child when that happened.
Mhm.
Like how,
Yeah.
I mean, it shouldn't have been in the sugar at all in the first place,
Yeah.
obviously, but like it's also something that she just does. And I
Yeah.
think she, yeah, like I said, she just sees that it's just a complete accident. Actually, one thing, do you think the uncle knew
I think the uncle knew.
that it was Maricat? I mean,
Hmm.
I think so too, because
Because
um there was a moment, so he keeps bringing up that day that he's it's like this happened, it could have been from this, it makes sense, like how it led to everyone, blah blah blah. He has like a whole bunch of theories, a whole bunch of like trying to get every single detail right and all that. And at one point, I think it was the cousin, he brings up America. It's like, oh, why don't I can't, how did the argument even start though? I know he wanted to stop the uncle from like talking about that day. He didn't want to know about it. Just wants to like forget about it. And the cousin brings up Mary Cat, being like that she's hiding stuff in the house and all that. Just kind of getting annoyed of her. And the uncle just goes, "Why do you keep bringing her up? She's dead." Basically says that, and we're all like, and for me, I was like, "The fuck."
mm,
Yeah, like what do you mean? And the cousin, he's freaking out for a second too. It's like, what do you mean? She's right here. It's like, no,
wow.
she died. No, she died in the orphanage. Where she was
Uh-huh.
left at while the trial was happening and all that. And so then some interruption happened, and they just never bring it up. And later on, though, Mary Kay brings up, she's like, I have no idea why Uncle thought I was dead. It's I thought that was so funny though too. It's just like, really? He just thought you
She's
were
all,
dead.
I'm right here.
I know. Yeah, it's in another thing about rumors and myths, to me, I thought, oh, she took her place. She's been lying this whole time. She probably
Yeah,
like
uh-huh.
murdered
I
them
thought the same
secretly,
thing.
like wanted to get their money. I don't know. Like I was not that far, but like I'm thinking about all these things. Like, oh my gosh,
Uh-huh.
she was never in the family, and all that. But it's like no, it's just the dude's losing his memory, and I think also one thing is that he probably knew it was Maricat, and either that was his way of kind of like shunning her out, just making her
Or like coping with what happened.
coping with it, or maybe he's still trying to figure out a way to make everyone innocent. Maybe, I
Yeah.
don't know, because again, he has like a whole
Or
bunch
I
of
mean,
detail.
yeah, like it could be literally all of the above. Like
Mm-hmm.
it could also be um or not finding everybody's innocence, but just like um how do I say it? Like finding a reason why this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though obviously like Constance and Mary Cat were like super affected by it, like he was the adult.
Yeah.
Like he was the one fully aware of everything that happened, the consequences, like,
Mm-hmm.
because the family was like, I guess like low key rich, but not super low key.
Yeah.
And then after this, like, they literally lost everything. Um, so, like, you have to go a little crazy after that, like,
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I just it was that was always that was a very interesting moment for me.
Mhm.
America was just like, I really don't know why he thought I was dead. And to me, it's just maybe either he wanted to shun her out or didn't want her involved at all into his story. Probably thought, she was just the kid in the house and she's died. Nothing else
Mhm.
happens. I don't know. It was weird.
And
Um,
then the fire.
okay, I was gonna say if there's anything else that happened before the fire, because that's when the whole story changes. Really.
Well, the uncle we mentioned earlier that he keeps notes and he writes, because he wants the story to be published.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he doesn't want anybody to see it
Yeah.
except for Constance. Um, so that was also like, I don't know, it's just like weird that he was so like
Protective.
not secretive, yeah, protective of that. And he even asks when one of the ladies that goes to visit them, um she brings a friend, and she starts asking like a lot of questions to Constance and Mary Cat, and they kind of start freaking out. Not because like they don't know what to say, but just
They don't want to relive
they
it.
don't want to talk about it,
Yeah.
so the uncle comes, and he's like okay in that moment to talk to them, and he tells them um that like it was like he tells them about the trial. He tells them, what Constance had told the police and stuff like that. Um and he, like, after they leave, he goes up to Constance and asks her, did I do okay?
Mm.
So it's just like interesting like that's the reason why I think he knows what happened, because like he knows that like he's like losing his memory and stuff. At least I want to believe so.
Mm-hmm.
um so like that was his way of like also protecting them, and like being like, okay, like it's okay, like we're fine now, you don't have to like worry
Mm-hmm.
about it.
Yeah. Hmm. I forgot about that. That's nice. I was gonna bring something up, but I forgot. Yeah. So.
Oh, the that was so creepy. When America is out in town, and those kids start telling her, like saying that little chant thing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
My
the chat.
God, it's so creepy. And then like hearing it on the audiobook. Oh no.
That's funny. Hmm. Okay, yeah, I think that's everything pretty much before the fire
Yeah.
with the uncle, the cousin. So yeah, the fire starts. This one, complete accident and all, and Constance and Mary can't manage to get out. The uncle was just kind of like, I got this. I'm on my own. And
Oh,
he goes,
he's on a wheelchair.
yeah. So he's managed to get up by himself, but Mary Cat's trying to protect Constance because at some point, um, the people start coming over because they're noticing the fire. But also the cousin was like fire, so so he had to so he came rushing back, and they're trying to put it out and everything. The cousin's trying to go for the safe, trying to like get it out and all that, but that's a failure. It's too heavy and all that, and they managed to put it out. And once everything's settled for no, okay, I remember now. It kind of settled, I think. I don't know if it was still going on or if it was settling, but basically they catch the girls and they start surrounding her and basically being like, "Did you start this fire? Like, what the fuck happened?"
Mhm.
That, and just like they're really like ganging up on them for really no
No
reason.
reason.
Like this really isn't none of your guys' business. Like,
Yeah.
you know. And then luckily though it gets stopped because someone, I think it was like a police officer or someone being like, "Hey, this guy's dead. The uncle is dead." Dude just died in the wheelchair in his sleep, basically. Or I don't know if he was
Yeah.
like took some medicine, but yeah.
But it was like I feel like you made it sound like they just kinda walked up to them. No, they started throwing stuff at the house, throwing all their things, like, breaking windows, like,
Okay,
all these
so
things.
that happened first. I couldn't
Yes.
remember. Okay, my bad. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember that. So then, yeah, the fire did settle. They started just smashing things, being like, "Hey, look at their fucking house." You know, it's like it's all fucked up now. I don't think you ever hear them say anything. Like they just, America is
The
hearing
chant.
just cheers, the chants, and everything. Just they're all kind of thinking like they deserved it or something.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they managed to find them. They were trying to hide in like some bushes or something, but they were too close, and yeah, they ganged up on them. And once they said that the uncle was dead, they made a run for it, and they all kind of just like left them alone after that. No, I think they were still trying. They were still trashing the house for a bit after that, but at some point they all just left. Um, they they took the uncle's body. Um, the police, I mean, not the villagers. The police took the body, and Maricat and Constance just stayed in the burnt up house. They kind of blocked off the windows and everything and any openings and all that, and just kind of went. Oh well, actually, when they hid in the after people left, they hid in the bushes. They stayed there for the night, and that's when um, Constance mentions or Maricat says, "I'm gonna kill them all." And again, the rumors of it all, I'm still like, is she gonna do it? Like, is
Yeah,
she
uh-huh.
slowly gonna like plant poison in everyone's homes or something like that? She says, "I'm gonna kill them all," and then Constance says, "Like you did that day, or like you did with the family, or something like that."
Uh-huh.
And she's like, "Yeah," and then that's when we get confirmation that she did it. But again, though, it was just an accident. um, and she never did anything to the villagers. She just stayed at the house, or yeah, at the house, and took care of Constance. Constance and Maricat took care of each other, really. Uh, but yeah, like I mentioned too, they blocked off the house, put barricades around their garden and everything, and set up stuff to make sure if they see anyone come in, they'll know. And then I don't know if I was getting this detail wrong, but like they hide whenever people come over, they hide like in the basement or something, or
Like, to the house?
yeah.
Um, before. Now I think like, when the uncle showed up or the cousin showed up, they hid behind the door.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I was picturing like he was like at the door, and then they were like in the basement and they can see him through there. I don't know why. I don't know why I was picturing that way.
I thought they were just behind the door, but you could be right.
I don't
Mm,
know. Just because I could have sworn in the book they said that they were like looking up at him, and
yeah.
then
Well,
they can
I
see
I
him.
thought they were, like, hunching down. But again, I could be wrong. I
Okay.
could be right. Yours might sounds actually better.
Yeah. Either way, though, like they stay hidden, and they get their first visitors, and it was the husband of the one of the ladies that came by in the beginning of the book, and the doctor. And this is why we said like, "What the fuck are you doing this now?" The husband, he was just trying to do what his wife says. He was like, "Girls, like we just want to know that you're okay. Like you can come to my place. You don't have to stay
Like,
here."
he wanted genuinely, like, wanted to take care of
And
them,
that's the thing
and that's
too.
what that lady was trying to do as well. She was
Hmm.
trying to make sure that they were okay,
Yeah.
taken care of.
Hmm. And it
Um,
and it was a nice moment because, like I said, because it's two people who generally wanted to take care of them, but it was also weird from the doctor because it was like it seemed like he
where was
didn't.
this energy before, sir?
Yeah, like where was this in the beginning, and just you don't make any sense, and I don't want to say, oh well, he's a doctor, he probably wants to like know about his patients. It's like, no, you could have done this from the beginning. It's just weird. And then that's later on the husband came back, but it was with his wife too, and they were just waiting outside the whole time, being like, hey, we're gonna wait out here for as long as we can. Like
Mhm.
again, our doors are open. Like, just let us at least let us know that you're safe. And that's one thing for me is like I kind of do wish they would have been like, we're fine, leave us alone. Like at least something
Yeah.
like that. But they didn't. They really left people worried. Um, and then slowly. but surely, for some reason, the villagers started helping out. They started bringing food to them, just leaving it outside the door, and then as soon as they leave, that's when Constance and Mary kept bringing it in. She's like, cool, we got food and all that. But it's like, why are you doing this now? Y'all literally danced in the ashes of their house. Like,
Yeah.
why all of a sudden you're being like, we're so sorry. Like, fuck y'all. I don't know. It was really like bothering me, just kind of like why they were being so helpful towards them when they were treating them like shit before.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and I mean, you can say a part of it is because of the rumors they were saying. They were like, oh man, these girls are murderers and blah blah blah. Like, stay away from them. And all of a sudden they're like, they don't have anything. It's
Yeah.
like they're not bothering us. They're not
Mhm.
coming out. Like, I would love to know, like, what is it that made you turn? Like, what was the
Uh-huh.
moment? Was it you like getting some night's sleep and being like, what the fuck did I dance in that person's burnt up
Mhm.
house? It's like, what the hell? And
And like that the same thing happened with the uncle. That was like a really strange. I felt super awkward about it.
which one?
Not the uncle,
The
the
cousin.
cousin.
Okay, I thought so.
Um so he went, and he went with like a reporter type of person. Um and like at first they were just kind of standing outside of the house, um kind of looking into it. The reporter was asking him questions like, do you think that they're in there? And he goes, I'm pretty sure they are. Um and then the reporter asks him to go and see if he can talk to them, and he's like, I mean, I'll try. um they should answer the door for me, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
um and so he goes and he's knocking, calling out to them. He knows that they're in there. um and like the only reason he did that was because the reporter wanted a photograph of them.
Yeah. No, yeah.
uh
He he's doing it for money again.
yeah.
Like, everything that he's doing is for money. But I don't know about you, but I do believe his words though, where he was like,
Yeah, like, I
I
just felt
don't.
super awkward about it.
It was weird. Like, I genuinely believed him when he was like, I don't care about your money anymore. Like, I just want to know that you guys are safe. Like, that's the one thing everyone wants to know. Like, are you safe? And but yeah, it was awkward.
Like, he gets, like, they're staring at him, and, like, like, him looking at the house, and he, like, he doesn't cry, but he gets, like, like, he looks like he's about to cry.
Hmm.
Um, like, he has, like, genuine, like, concern.
Genuine concern, probably guilt too, because
Guilt, yeah.
I mean, he caused the fire, obviously, and
But
he probably could have done something different.
again, accident.
Again, yeah, it was just an accident. Um, and that was the last scene, right? With the cousin coming in,
Um,
going up to the door. Because I mean,
yeah.
okay, because there was some, there was one other thing that happens before
Mhm.
going back into the myths and rumors. Um, we don't know how much time passes between when the fire started and towards the end of the book. I got a feeling like it was years, like maybe even
Yeah.
decades,
Mhm.
because they said that the house was growing plants, or like the plants were
Yeah,
growing
uh-huh.
around the house. So like, that's decades, really, for that to happen. Uh, but one thing that they mentioned is like Mary Cat sees these group of kids, playing outside. They're just kind of minding their own. At first, they were all minding their own business. They're playing around with each other, but then as like the kids coming back more and more, not the same ones, but like other ones come back. That's when they start making rumors of like, I heard there's like two witches living in there and all that.
Mhm.
It's like, do you go in and knock and blah blah blah, and then like, and then later on, this one family, like, they're walking by because they're just in that part of town that people can just walk by, and I can't remember
She
some.
she said that because in the beginning of the book that never happened, and it was because they blocked off the walkway from their house to the town, which was kind of like a little like a shortcut type of
Hmm.
thing. But then after the fire, that all kind of got torn down, so people were starting to show up more around the house.
Mm-hmm. And one thing that happens is like this family. I think, I don't know if it was like this girl's grandmother, but I think the parents are telling them like, "Hey, don't go near that house and all that," because they're saying it because like it could be dangerous. But like obviously the grandma knows like kids will be kids and they're gonna want go up there. But so she tells her the myth or rumor being like, hey, if you go up there, the witches will get you, blah blah blah. And it was
Mhm.
like, but she's doing it for her safety, just being like, don't go near the house. It could fucking collapse at any moment, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But because of that, though, that's how the rumors and myths start, and in a sense, like the girls will never be left alone, and
Yeah.
all that, and that's kind of all they want. And but yeah, I mean, like I said, this whole thing is just about myths and rumors and how they can easily turn, and
Yeah.
even you yourself start thinking about those things of what happened in their past. But it's like, no, just these are just accidents. Shit happens.
Yeah.
What did you think of the final line where the cousin leaves, then the girls look at each other and they start laughing, and Constance just says, "I'm so happy."
They're alone. And that's all they wanted.
I guess. So yeah.
It's just it's so interesting, and yeah, like it gets you thinking, and like I think that the most like interesting part is that they get you too. Like it gets you too.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. That's what got me. It was that very last line. The last lines in the book are so fucking important. Like they just kind of like you gotta kind of have this like euphoric moment, and when you read that last line, and this it wasn't like euphoric or anything, but like it was just kind of it just hit me that last line. She just says, "I'm so happy," and I'm kind of like, what the fuck? I don't know how to explain it. It's just it was interesting for one thing that they're happy in their situation, living in a burnt up house, living off
Nothing.
rations, nothing. I mean, I think they said they started building like their own garden, and they've been
Mhm.
living off of that on their own. They just have their own little world going on in there. And I don't know, it's just it kind of hit me like I believe you. It's like
Mhm.
I believe you're genuinely happy now that you're
Mhm.
left alone, you're with the people that you care about, and there's really not a worry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
It
that's
was it was so good. I
it
liked
was
it.
very interesting. That last line, it really gets to me, and it really gets me thinking about the whole thing. And I can't remember the moment though. I don't know if it was that last line or I can't remember when, but like I wish I could remember the moment where it hit me like, oh, this is what this story. I think it might have been actually with the grandma. The girl tell that grandma telling the girls stay
Mhm.
away because the witches will get you and all that. I'm like, oh, this is what you've been leading up to this whole time, and that's why I'm saying it's like it's worth a read, even though the dialogue kind of it was very rough for me. um, but yeah,
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we chose this one.
there's a movie, right? They adapted it.
Yeah,
We should watch it.
I know.
Maybe we'll talk about it in the next episode, but
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm more so curious. The only thing I'm curious about that movie is the cinematography, only because um, the guy that made Haunting of Hill House, like he has great cinematography and great editing, and I'm like, you got a lot to live up to.
It came out like kind of close to when Hill House came out, no?
Oh, I don't know.
I remember. I think that's what happened.
Mm.
And then isn't Chris Pine in it or something like that?
I know Alexander Daddario, isn't it? Um,
Oh. And I don't know her name. She's from like American Horror Story.
mm,
Um, but yeah. Yeah, maybe we'll watch it.
yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if it
Uh,
has the same effect.
mm. Um, Actually, another interesting about this book, I don't know where it takes place in time. I found that really
Yeah,
interesting because I'm thinking like modern day, like it takes place
I'm
today.
not.
I
But
really,
see, cause I saw some of the clips from the show or movie or whatever it was.
Mhm.
So, they were dressed not modern.
Okay.
So that was kind of what I was picturing, but I cannot like, you can change it to where it's
Mhm.
like, it's very easily,
Changed into different
uh-huh,
time periods, yeah.
uh-huh.
I was thinking at the very
A
least, like
timeless tale, if you will.
I was thinking, like, very easily, like, 60s or 70s, but I don't think the book is that old, or is it older or
I have no
more
idea.
recent? Hmm, I bet. Let me see, when did it come out?
I know, I didn't.
You didn't do a lot of research with the author. Did you read? I don't know if it was in the audiobook or um but there was like this little part at the end after the story where they kind of went into a little bit of Shirley Jackson's life and a little bit
Oh,
more detail in the
no.
story. Like they mention um hold on, let me get oh cool, perfect. Um one thing they one connection that they kind of did is there was one part in Mary Cat's mind where she went back to the place where they all got killed, where they were having their dinner, and her imagination was just people being like, "Here, Mary Cat, have this like piece of dessert." It's like Mary Cat should have everything. She deserves everything. She's such a
Mhm.
good kid and all that, blah blah blah. And at the end of the story, that's kind of what happens, where everyone starts
Giving her things.
giving her things, and even though they don't say it, they're kind of like, these are good people. They
Yeah.
probably, because obviously they regret what they've done and all that, but they're kind of realizing like these people weren't ever bad or anything. They were probably
Yeah.
never psychopaths or anything. And so that was kind of interesting that like she kind of, for America at least, she got everything that she wanted at the end.
Yeah.
Book, when did it come out? 1962 mystery novel by American author Shirley Jackson. Okay, so I was right. In the time period. Cool. That's interesting. I actually like these covers. These are these are actually really cool covers. There's one of the house, but like the sky is like the dark blue and everything, and you just see lights in the top of the house in the middle. And then there's one of just of Meerkat and Constance in the window.
Hmm.
That's cool.
I like this book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that was that one. Do you want to talk about the next reading we're doing?
Yeah, and I got the book right here. We're reading Hex by. Oh,
The light is like,
yeah, right there. I love this cover, by the way.
I know, it's
It's
so
so
good.
creepy. And was it Thomas Old Huvelt? I hope I said that right. Sorry. I
And
haven't.
we promised that we're not gonna pick spooky books all the time.
I mean, no, yeah, it's
It's
Halloween,
just spooky
and
season.
we're for sure gonna. I mean, we're gonna read Percy Jackson at some point because for the release of the first season and all that. So we'll pick some fun stuff. Definitely, I definitely want to read Dune before the second part comes out. Um, I don't know what else we have. I don't know if we can do this, but after seeing The Fall of House Usher, I really kind of want to read some of Edgar Allan Poe's works.
Yeah. I
uh,
mean, I read a few, but not a whole lot.
I'm
I feel
sure.
like we did pretty good in kind of pointing out.
I think we could have done more. I feel like the ones that we pointed out are kind of basic in terms of his
Yeah,
work.
that's
Like
true.
everyone probably read
The
some of his work.
Raven.
The Raven, the Castle
Mhm.
Amontillado, and the whole Heart one. Like
The
I've,
what?
the Heart one. The one that
Oh
she
yeah,
kept
yeah,
hearing the heartbeat.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Um, yeah, I feel like those are kind of basic. People have probably read that in
In
school.
school.
So
Hey, they're pretty good though.
yeah, those ones were good. But
The monkey's paw. That's the one that I remember.
I don't think that's Edgar Allan Poe's though.
Maybe not. They all sound the same to me.
W. Jacobs. That's his.
Oh.
Honestly though, I'm kind of confused on them. Um,
Then which is the one that I'm thinking of? I
oh,
don't know.
Uh,
I am not very well educated in his stuff.
okay, yeah, it is Edgar Allan Poe.
See,
Or, no, no, no,
you're
no, no. Cask of Amontillado is Edgar
oh
Allan Poe, I think. Yep, it's from Edgar Allan Poe, Amontillado.
I
But
knew
yeah,
that one.
but yeah, Monkey's Paw is
Not him.
not him. I don't know why you kept bringing that up.
I know I did. I brought it up like 5
And
times.
every single time I'm like, that is
No.
not his work.
It's just, it gives off those vibes.
I don't know. I feel like his work is weirder than that.
Okay. All right.
Nah,
Anyways,
hmm.
Hex.
Yeah, Hex, about a town that's cursed by a witch, and goes in, never gets out, and then who gets out dies.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, I've only read a page. Can't tell you anything about it, but we'll try to get to it as soon as we can, and we'll see how we think
Mhm.
about it.
Any other books you plan on reading?
I will try to get to the Slow Regard of Silent Things, just because I really do want to compare. Because those moments in the King Killer Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss, those moments where they start talking to each other, the main character and the character in his short one, I love it. Like, it's weird, but I wanted more of it. Like, every time they hung out, I'm like, yes, more dialogue between these two. Like, what's gonna happen? Like, what are they gonna talk about? And so I'm curious, like, if he can keep that whole thing up in that book, and I'll be like interested in it, or like at least I'll be able to hold on to the story a bit more than I did with
Mm-hmm.
the Castle. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I still am trying to finish The House of the Spirits,
Mm-hmm.
which you talked about in the last episode. But there were two new releases that I am very excited about. One is um Anna Huang. Um she wrote this other series that I really like. The Twisted series, which is like a dark romance type of thing. Um she started a new one. I forgot the name of like the series, but each book is like the first one was King of Wrath. The second one was King of uh what was it? Like each book is like a sin.
Mm.
Um and then so yeah, the new one just came out, I think like a few days ago, I think. It's called King of Greed. I'm excited about it. And then the third book in the Windy series, which I also talked about last episode, um came out as well. It's called Caught Up. It's a baseball one. Um, I'm like so excited to read it as well. And then I'm also gonna try and read They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. Which I think I told you about this one. It's about a college professor who kills her students.
Mm.
Not her students, but like she think like Dexter. She chooses like the worst student of the year and she kills him. So yeah, I'm excited about it too.
Mm. That's interesting.
Yeah. I told you about this.
Yeah, you did. But yeah, try to get to that one. I still need to finish the Ant-Man one. But yeah, we'll get to it. But I'm also busy because I'm playing Spider-Man 2,
Oh my
which
god.
tomorrow, at least as of this recording, tomorrow my gameplay for Spider-Man Miles Morales will be up on Quest Center. Check me out there. Sergio and I did a podcast. We talked about Spider-Man and Spider-Man Miles Morales. We love that game. We were very excited for Spider-Man 2. I haven't talked to him about it, but we'll see when we'll get to what we'll see when I finish Spider-Man 2, and then we'll get to talk about it. And then I did a recent one with Alexis. We just talked about whatever. There's honestly, it's even hard to remember what we did talk about. I know he brought up um, Emmys and Oscars and all that, being like that this year we're not that interested.
Yeah,
It's been very
I'm
hard for us.
halfway. I'm not done with it.
Mm-hmm. Um, and then I talked briefly about Marvel. Oh, I remember we brought up like the fact that they scrapped Daredevil Born Again
Mhm.
completely. Just went, oh, we're starting all over, and we were kind of like,
I just got to that
really?
part.
Yeah, yeah. We were just, I was just shocked about it too, because the reason why is because Alexa said the reason Kevin Feige scrapped it is because during the strikes, since he had nothing to do, he thought, oh, let me look over the tapes, and then he realized, oh, these are really bad, and then scrapped it.
That
Basically,
and then the fact that they had so much done already. That's insane.
but like the thing though is he hadn't done that with any of the other shows. He just literally was like, okay, we have this in the script, add this, add this, add this, take this part out actually, and then never saw like the final cut of it basically until it
That's
was released.
wild.
And so it was insane that he even thought like he of all the other shows that they put out, he thought this was the one that they needed to stop and start over. And I talk about Loki. I'm not interested at all, and I'm honestly kind of
I've
bothered.
not heard a single thing about Loki,
It's
which is crazy because a lot of people like the first season,
yeah, I
and I
enjoyed
heard
it.
that this season wasn't that bad either.
It's I won't. Okay, the thing that really bothers me is Tom Hiddleston's acting in this. It just,
Stop talking.
there's just something about it. I'm just kind of like, what is wrong with you? Like, are you not into this role anymore,
Probably.
or what? Like, it's like the parts when he's funny, he's really funny, and like I like that. But there's this one moment where he had to be like really menacing, and I'm kind of like, what's up with these cuts? Why are you cutting it in that moment? And why did y'all do this in one take or something? Or like it was weird. It was weird. But yeah, we talked a lot. We went for 3 hours somehow.
Oh my! Just kidding. I'm not halfway.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. No, yeah, I don't think he really cut anything out. But yeah, listen to that. Um, what else do we have? No, it's just those two, right?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, check out my gameplay and podcast and Quest Center. Check out Red Spotlight. Uh, check all those out on YouTube and anywhere else you listen to podcasts. Anything else to add, Ali?
No.
No. Okay then. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye.